Good morning. Um, I was thinking about something this morning as I woke up, and well, first of all, let me do a couple quick announcements. I'm putting up all this content because um, once I have to go pick my wife up from the airport, we are going on vacation, so um, I'm trying to put up a bunch of videos as much as I can today. Probably not gonna be putting up as many as I did yesterday, just because I have to I have to pack, and I have to pack the car or the SUV. So I got a lot of stuff I gotta do. So I'm trying to get a couple videos done early because I'll probably only put up a few more today, if that, um, if time permits. What else? There's something else I want to do. Oh, I get a lot of positive comments and stuff, and I definitely appreciate that. Trust me, it gives me the fuel to keep going and keep doing what I do. But I would, along with the great comments and the supportive comments, I would definitely I would love if you guys would share them, whether it be on your Facebook page, whether it be on your Instagram page. Share it with a brother you care about. Share it with a brother who's going through some things. You know, and this kind of segues me to the video I want to do, which is the concept of black male independent thought. See, if you're like me, you spent majority of your early years, your young years, trying to, um, I don't want to say impress women, black females, but you spent majority of your time trying to be um, respectful, gentleman like, and then you get to a point where you realize this ain't worth it. It's not. That's not what they want. They don't want a gentleman. They want a thug. They want that street dude. They want the dude with the style and the fashion and the fast money. And then you realize the worse you treat them, the more they love you. This is a living proof example of myself. Probably around 2007, I was talking to a few females, and after wasting so much of my time dealing with them and trying to be, boyfriend material, and then at the end of the day, all they did was use me for sex, and that was good. They wanted to be with the dude who wasn't gonna amount to shit. That's who they wanted, you know. So the last three females that I was with sexually prior to me meeting my wife, um, I just treated them like straight up shit. The last female, I did kind of try to build something with her because she actually seemed like, she was a local radio um, personality. So I just figured, okay, she has a career. Maybe I could build something with her. And she started acting all funny style. So you telling me the females that didn't bring anything to the table, didn't have a job, all they wanted was some dick. The female that brought something to the table actually had a potential career in doing something, or at least was doing it locally, didn't want a serious relationship. They just all they just wanted was dick. And then I began to realize that there is no difference between the so-called professional, the so-called educated, and the so-called uneducated black female. They're pretty much all the same when you boil it down. They all like the same prototypical male, which is someone who they can dominate over. See, one of the things that the mistake they made about me was they thought, oh, well, since he's giving me or I'm giving him, because I'm sure that's how they thought, I'm giving him some sex. Surely I could just, have the run of the mill. And that's not how it works with me. Like, my whole thing is, I take these so called feminists up on their shit. So if you up here talking about you just as good as a man, then you could do the same shit I do without me helping you out. So you can pay a bill, just like I could pay a bill. You can take care of your children. I didn't have no children at the time, but I'm like, hey man, I didn't make that child. Would you? You take care of it. Know what I mean? 50-50, right? You're just as good as a man, right? So my goal on YouTube is to let the black man know. And as far as I know, I'm the only one really talking about this particular thing. But I'm sure there's other black men who have touched on this topic. But I'm really trying to be the Emmett Smith and just pound the ball, pound the ball, pound the ball on this particular topic, because I think it's very important as we move forward, and as Trump begins to cut back a lot of these pork benefits and begin to kind of trim the fat off of it. They're gonna have no other choice but to come back and respect us at some point. I mean, it's not gonna happen over it. The disrespect didn't happen overnight, and the respect is not gonna happen overnight. But the longer this dude is president, the more he's gonna keep trimming that crutch away, to the point that it's no longer a crutch. And we as men have to make sure that there's a punishment to be paid, because since I could take it to the old school mentality of behead the traitor, but I think more so than anything, setting an example of them by men saying, look, I'm no longer going to date you when you have children by other men who aren't on my level, but yet you want to charge me a brand new car price for a used car that's already been in several accidents. You're not going to do that. I'm not going to simp like that. And we need to start leaving them alone, and literally leave them alone. Meaning they don't have a man. They don't even get dick. They just sit off somewhere because they decided they were going to take advantage of this crooked system, which does nothing but oppress black men as a whole, or at least as those that are involved in that system or drugged into the system. So we need to really, as black men, before we start trying to build financial wealth and all this other stuff, which is very important, and I'm not trying to make it like it's not important, but the one thing that we absolutely need to do is be on one accord in thought, have one set of rules, and we all follow them. The problem right now is the simps come in and validate their fuckery, and it makes it hard for us real men who have principles to really be able to stand up on those principles as a beacon and as someone to look to be like in a leadership position. Right now, there's a lot of simps in leadership positions. There was no greater evidence of that other than the video that I did the commentary on. It was a panel full of simps, and trying to protect the black female fragile self-esteem does nothing to benefit anybody. It just makes them feel like they're okay doing the fuckery that they're doing. So my whole goal is black male independent thought. To independently think for yourself. To avoid this groupthink. To be an individual. Why is it important to be individual? Well, see, in a group, a group is a female tendency. Why do I say that? Because in a group, there's envy. because some people inevitably are going to have more talents than another one. Someone's going to look better than someone. But if you promote the concept of being an individual, see, only I can be I. You can be you. I can't be you and you can't be me. So if we celebrate each other's excuse me, individuality, then that by itself gives that person the confidence to move forward and do whatever in life. But see, when we think in a group think, it's about everybody else and it's not about you. As humans, we're naturally selfish to a degree. That's why it gets so out of hand when you are partaking in a group think, because the moment you get an opportunity to benefit for yourself, that's what you're going to do. You're going to take the opportunity that you benefit and you're not going to worry about the group. And because there's so many people in the group think, that's why they say don't leave the hood. Because they don't want to work to leave the hood, but they want someone else to they want to sit back and watch someone else work to leave the hood. So when they work and leave the hood and then they get the fruits of their labor, they want part of that, the rewards, when they didn't do anything to for themselves to get out of the hood or to get out of poverty. And we as black men have for too long allowed black women to live off our backs, especially as sons. When we put our nose to the grindstone and work our ass off, they want to come through and then use us for the pseudo husband that they couldn't pick. And then they try to shame us. Well, I'm your mama and I raised you, da 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 da. Yeah, okay, but you didn't put in the labor. Okay, you weren't in the gym doing 1,000 suicides. You weren't in the gym lifting weights. You wasn't there with me when I was taking 1,000 jump shots an hour. You weren't doing that when I was training for the football team. Like I put in the effort. I put in the work. I remember, I never forget. I just graduated. I went to college, graduated, couldn't get a job in that field. Went back to school, graduated, got my degree in that. And I forget where we were. I think we were like at a cookout or something like that. And something that happened. Me and my mom had like a little fall now, and of course she told her friends about it. And oh no, it wasn't a fall. I'm sorry. What happened was my mom was of course going around bragging, talking about how I graduated school and everything, and I had 2 degrees. And it's just, I just got 2 associates, so it's nothing to really brag about. But I wasn't bragging about. She was. So some lady said out loud, "Oh, you raised a good son. He went to school and got 2 degrees." And I'm like, wait a minute. My mother got money from my father from the time I was 13 to the time I was 18. And by the time it was all said and done, I didn't have a dime saved up for me. So what did I have to do? I had to take student loans. Now I paid those student loans off, but I'm still paying the other student loans I had to take when I went back to school. And I'm paying that for, I'm gonna be truly middle aged by the time I get that loan paid off. But they was trying to give her credit. I'm the one stuck holding the bag, but they trying to give her credit. So that's why I'm saying, black men, I do videos for you. Alright? I'm not doing it for no one else. I'm not even talking to, if you notice, I try not to even talk about, black women anymore. Unless I'm trying to bring something to light. But so far as doing videos about black women, I'm going to stop bashing them, so to speak. If that's what they feel like I'm doing, I'm going to stop bashing them. I'm solely talking to black men right now. My channel is a masculine channel. I'm not going to get on here simping, talk about you need to be with a black woman. I'm not going to pull no Dr. Umar Johnson bullshit. I'm not going to do that. I don't care who you sleeping with. That ain't none of my business. What my business is I am my brother's keeper. And one thing I learned was these females will have us turn on each other like that. And they're jumping on to the next dick while we're fighting each other. I'm not going to do it no more. I refuse to do it anymore. I mean, I haven't done it in like the last several years because I changed my mentality and I understood what the game was. And that's how they keep. It's no different than what the federal government is doing between blacks and whites and Hispanics and everything. They keep us at odds with each other so that we can't see what they're doing. Black women keep black men at odds with each other so that we can't see what they're doing. It's all little microcosms as you go down the line. People often get upset and pissed off when they see a black man with a white woman. But I made a reference to it that what white women are really good at doing is being sweet and caring. Even if they're not sincere. Like I said, I work with a bunch of white people. Majority white females. I hear when they are being, I can tell when they're being disingenuous with one another. And they'll be on some, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. And it's like, come on, dude. Like, you don't give a fuck about this woman taking her dog to the vet. Like, you don't give a shit. But you're, for the sake of giving off the image of being caring and civil, this is what they do. This is a trait that black women have failed to understand and grasp. They are just abrasive at all times. And they feel like the world owes them something. If anything, the world owes black men more so than anyone else. Because we were the ones, we couldn't sleep with Master's wife, daughter. We got killed. Okay? There was I can't remember the dude's name. I think he was a prominent boxer. They had challenged, they had anti-misogynist laws, or not misogynist, but I forget what it's called, but it's basically where, the races can't mix. I forget what the terminology is off the top of my head. But when they petitioned the Supreme Court, they were denied when it was a black man and a white woman. But you all know the Loving story, right? Why was it then approved when it was a white man and a black woman? See, these are the things that I'm pointing out. That's why I say I love history. Because history repeats itself. And if you don't study history, and you don't know what went on and what went on before, you're not going to understand what's going on now. And so what's going on now is the same thing. But in the black community, it's like 1950, 1960 all over again. With there being an issue with where black men are putting their penis. So I'm not going to go any longer because I don't want to draw out this video. We'll be trying to put up more content for everyone to watch over the next probably several days that I will not be able to make videos because I will be around my three rambunctious boys again, and I'm sure my wife misses me in more than one way, and so I'm going to probably be very, very busy, and I definitely will try to put up some more videos and content and for your listening pleasure, and hopefully what I'm saying is changing minds, changing hearts, and changing perspectives, because I'm just tired of seeing my brothers get dragged down, and then we gotta, especially the good brothers. I know way too many good men just dealing with horrible women, baby mothers, whatever, ex-wives, and they good dudes, man. They just want to be there for their children. They may not want to be with the woman anymore, but they just want to be there for their children, and their lives are being fucking fucked with because this bitch has the ability to do it, and it's not right, man. So I'm henceforth, well, I've been said this, but I'm just making a proclamation. Henceforth, my message is strictly for black men. If black women want to listen, I'm not saying you can't listen, but don't come on my page talk about another race of women doing something too. Because if you're supposed to be the queens is the highest status in the land. So you're supposed to be above the peasants. That's all I'm saying. All right. Peace, y'all.